Let us die for our brethren. That's what you call driven by love. He understood of this great peril that was before him. Everybody was afraid, even including himself. But even in that, he allowed for his love to conquer the situation to where he says, I'm going to fight regardless. Some of us, man, we got to get built. I got to get built up to that point. When you commit fornication, because now you're taking my daughter and you're treating her like a whore. Now other men, they see you treat that girl like a whore, so then now they think it's okay to treat other women, other fathers' daughters, other brothers' sister like a whore. Is that love? No, that's not love.
About the love of my people, the love of my people, my people, my people, my people.
Read.
And also 3 times brought down fire.
Uh-huh.
Elias, how wast thou honored in thy wondrous deeds?
How was thou honored in thy wondrous deeds? Read.
And who may glory like unto thee?
And who may glory like unto Elijah? Jump down to verse 10.
Verse 10, who was ordained for reproof in their times.
Elijah was ordained. His purpose was to reprove in their times. Read.
To pacify the wrath of the Lord's judgment.
Elijah's job was to pacify the wrath of the Lord. He acknowledged what was going to happen if we continued down a certain path. So his job was to pacify or to stop the wrath of the Lord from happening by going out and warning the people to stop doing what you're doing. Our God is becoming angry. Read.
Before it break forth into fury,
Uh-huh.
and to turn the heart of the father unto the son.
Right, read.
And to restore the tribes of Jacob.
Uh-huh.
Blessed are they that saw thee and slept in love.
Right. So that's it on that. So Elijah, his job was to return the hearts of the fathers to the children, right? So now, as we go into the scriptures, I want to show notable examples, something similar to what Elijah would do. He would turn the hearts of the fathers into the children by showing the examples of what the forefathers did to show you what God liked and what God didn't like. These are the things that God liked as far as him being able to show you a pattern of good works that we should follow. And then these are examples. Look, don't do what these individuals did, because judgment came their way for the sins that they committed against their father, right? So let's start off with the book of Jeremiah. Matter of fact, get Romans 15:4, then Jeremiah 1.
Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
So very similar to what Elijah would do as he would teach the Bible, as he would direct the people in the guidance of the scriptures. He would open up the laws of God and give reproof unto the people by showing them things in the past that happened with our forefathers. So as we open up these scriptures and read it, it's for us to comprehend that these things were written aforetime for us to learn from in the present day captivity, wherever we are scattered at, that we may learn to fear our God and put our sins to the side. Read.
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
And that through patience and through comfort of reading these scriptures, we might have hope, right? So now go to Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 4. So now in that, we're going to read about Jeremiah. We're going to read about the perils that he went through and how, matter of fact, before we do that, do me a favor, go to Google, and there's a title that's given to Jeremiah. Jeremiah was known as the weeping prophet. So type in Google, why is Jeremiah called the weeping prophet? Why is Jeremiah called the weeping prophet? Okay, so let's show that on the screen, please. And then I want you to do me a favor, read that.
Yes, sir. Jeremiah is called the weeping prophet because his ministry was filled with deep sorrow.
So Jeremiah's ministry, being a servant to the people, that's what ministry means. It was filled with deep sorrow. In what?
And tears.
In what?
And tears.
Deep sorrow and tears did Jeremiah have. Read.
Over the impending destruction of Jerusalem and his people's rebellion against God.
So Jeremiah had deep sorrow, just very similar to how Christ was moved with compassion when he saw that his people was like sheep going astray with no shepherd. As Jeremiah looked at the conditions of his people being rebellious towards God, and as he understood what was to come dealing with Babylon destroying the temple, he had tears and great sorrow behind it. So as you read through the book of Jeremiah, you see that, man, he really cared for his people. Read on.
Which he foresaw, and also for the intense personal persecution and loneliness he endured while faithfully delivering God's harsh warnings. He lamented the nation's sin, wished he could weep endlessly, and expressed profound grief in his prayers and writings, especially the book of Lamentations detailing the suffering of Judah.
Right, so in Jeremiah's writings, I don't know if y'all know it or not, but also too, Jeremiah is the life of the book of Lamentations is also to another aspect of Jeremiah's life. Lamentation is going into the lamenting that Jeremiah went through, as far as him seeing all these things that was to come to his people, to our people, right? Baruch is the one that scribed and wrote that. So now, watch how, as we build up, you start to see, man, Jeremiah really did go through a lot. Jeremiah 1:4.
Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 4. Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee.
So the Most High is Christ is telling Jeremiah, before I formed you in the belly, I knew you. Meaning that before Jeremiah came on this earth, God already designed him with a purpose to come on this earth to fulfill something according to Christ's will. Read.
And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
And Jeremiah was ordained to be a prophet to the nations. Read.
Then said I, Lord God, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child.
Now, Jeremiah being a young man, he looked at this purpose that God designed for him, and he says, but I'm only a child. So guess what? He had doubt, just like all of us. We got doubt. I know in some things that as we read throughout the scriptures and we see challenges that internally we have to deal with as far as overcoming certain hurdles and sins, and we start to have doubt, man, am I going to be the chosen vessel? Right? As long as you keep fighting, guess what? There's a chance. But the minute you stop fighting, you the one that threw in the towel. You gave up. Keep fighting. Jeremiah had doubt, right? But watch how the Lord gave him comfort in that. Read.
Verse 7, But the Lord said unto me, Say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak.
So whatsoever I command you, Jeremiah, that I want you to speak. Read.
Be not afraid of their faces.
Don't be afraid of their faces, because you got to imagine, Jeremiah, as he sees the condition of his people, at this point in time, at that point in time, you had a lot of us, they went astray from God. We was into all type of lifestyles. Some of us were murderers. Some of us had, some of the women out there, they was crazy. Just like we experienced today, they got the loud mouth to where they bring so much attention to the direction of the prophet as he just trying to tell them to stop from they saying, we go out there, we teach the Bible. We say, sister, you know you can't be wearing no pants. What do you mean? Right. I start going in. And guess what? We can't be afraid of none of that. We got to stand firm because God put his word in us to warn the people. And that love that we have for understanding the position that we're putting, that the people are putting themselves in, we don't care about how you're going to come at us. Our job is to get you to understand that, man, it's not going to be a nice time for you if you continue down this path. Hopefully you get what we're saying. We only reading God's words. It's not what I'm saying. It's not my words. Humble yourself, right? So now, read on.
Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, saith the Lord. Then the Lord put forth his hand and touched my mouth. And the Lord said unto me, Behold, I have put my words in thy mouth.
Okay, so now watch this. He said, don't be afraid. Now, as he tells Jeremiah, don't be afraid, he gives him reassurance, right? And the reassurance, let's jump down to verse 17. This is the reassurance right here.
Verse 17, Thou therefore gird up thy loins
Gird up thy loins. Read.
and arise.
Arise.
And speak unto them
Uh-huh.
all that I command thee.
Read.
Be not dismayed at their faces, lest I confound thee before them.
Don't be dismayed at their faces, because if you start to have doubt in me, hey, I'm going to allow for you to be confounded. You go out there, you stand firm. I don't care who's in front of you. Because watch what I would do for you, Jeremiah, if you do this. Read.
For behold, I have made thee this day a defense city.
I have made you, Jeremiah, like a defense city. Nothing can penetrate you if you stand on my word. Read on.
And an iron pillar and bracing walls against the whole land, against the kings of Judah,
Against the whole land,
Against-
against the kings of Judah. Read.
against the princes thereof,
Against the leaders thereof. Read.
against the priests thereof,
Against the priest, the Levitical priesthood. Read.
and against the people of the land.
I've made you a defense wall against everybody that's within this city. Don't be afraid. I'm going to be the one to fight your battles for you. Just like he told Zerubbabel. Well, I don't like to dive off into different things, but ultimately to my point, Zerubbabel had help or defense from some mighty angels within the battles that Zerubbabel had to deal with, right? When you read Zechariah chapter 4. That's the same thing with all the prophets. There's a divine protection that happens as we go out there to those streets and we teach. As Jeremiah went out there, all these people was doing wickedness. No matter who came his way, guess what? There was some divine intervention that stepped on the behalf of Jeremiah to anybody that messed with him. That was the reassurance and confidence that he had. Guess what? That's the same thing for us. So he said, I'm going to make you a defense city against all those that come against thee. Read.
And they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee.
Read on.
For I am with thee,
For I am with thee. Read.
saith the Lord, to deliver thee.
Saith the Lord to deliver thee. So now we're going to start to get into some of the things that Jeremiah went through. Go to Jeremiah chapter 20, verse 7. We're going to read verses 7 through 11.
Jeremiah chapter 20 and verse 7. O Lord, thou hast deceived me.
So now, as Jeremiah started to go out and teach, matter of fact, why did he say that? Jump down to verse 1.
Verse 1. Now Pashur, the son of Immer, the priest, who was also chief governor in the house of the Lord, heard that Jeremiah prophesied these things.
So he heard of Jeremiah prophesying of Babylon to come. Repent from your ways. Babylon is going to come. They're going to destroy us. They're going to destroy the temple. Fix yourselves. Stop doing or conforming to these idols. These things are separating us from our God. Stop being murderers. Stop doing these things to the children. So he was going out there warning them. And as who was that again?
Pashur.
As Pashur hears of him prophesying these things, what happened?
Then Pashur smote Jeremiah the prophet.
He did what?
Smote Jeremiah the prophet.
He smacked him. He came up to him when Jeremiah was in his presence. He smacked Jeremiah in the face. Read.
And put him in the stocks that were in the high gate of Benjamin.
Right, so he put him up and he held him at a particular location. So he smacked him behind that. So Jeremiah started to deal with persecution behind him. Read.
Which was by the house of the Lord.
Uh-huh.
And it came to pass on the morrow that Pashur brought forth Jeremiah out of the stocks. Then said Jeremiah unto him, The Lord had not called thy name Pashur, but Maccabeus. For thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will make thee a terror to thyself and to all thy friends, and they shall fall by the sword of their enemies.
So what is Jeremiah saying? He said, Behold, the Lord told me to say this to you. First off, the name you think it is, that ain't the name. Your name means something else. And I want you to understand something. You're going to be a terror to your people. Read that part again.
For thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will make thee a terror to thyself.
And it says a terror to thyself, read.
And to all thy friends.
Why is that? Because what happened to him, what he did, he smacked Jeremiah, so now judgment got to come from that. Because of him smacking Jeremiah like that, the Lord is saying, guess what? You are part of the reason why the Chaldeans finna come and they finna judge this land. It's all because of actions like what you're doing against my prophets as they go out there and they warn them to turn. Read.
And they shall fall by the sword of their enemies.
Read.
and thine eyes shall behold it.
Your eyes are going to see all of this, and it's going to be because of your doings. Read.
And I will give all Judah into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall carry them captive into Babylon,
Read.
and shall slay them with the sword.
Uh-huh.
Moreover, I will deliver all the strength of this city, and all the laborers thereof, and all the precious things thereof, and all the treasures of the kings of Judah will I give into the hand of their enemies.
Right, so the enemy is going to come into your land. They're going to kill all the men and women before you. They're going to take all the precious gold, silver, everything out of your land. They're going to destroy the temple, and it's all because of what you did. So now jump to verse 7. So now as Jeremiah having to go through this, now he's starting to be bothered again in his mind to have to deal with these adversities. So what does he say again?
Verse 7, O Lord, thou hast deceived me. I was deceived. Thou art stronger than I, and hast prevailed. I am in derision daily.
So he's saying, I am in derision daily. You have a purpose for me? And as I'm thinking I can try to do things my way, I'm starting to realize that I can't fail. What the purpose is that you got me to go out here and do, and these adversities that's coming my way, your power is greater than mine. I have to do what you say do. Read on.
Everyone mocked me.
Everybody mocking me. Everybody was mocking Jeremiah. Read.
For since I spake, I cried out.
As every time he started to prophesy, he started to realize the condition of what was going on. He started to cry. Read.
I cried violence and spoil.
He cried violence and spoil because these things was happening. Read.
Because the word of the Lord was made a reproach unto me.
Because as he was preaching, people hated Jeremiah for what he was doing. And he cried behind that because Jeremiah had a love. And his love was not to see his people go into captivity. His love was to not see his people making their God angry. That's that love that he had. Read.
And a derision daily. Then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name.
And as he started to deal with these trials of the reproach, he started to have it in his mind to hinder himself from being able to prophesy again. He said, I can't deal with this, it's too much. But then watch how that love started to kindle in him and create this great fervent fire to where he realized, I have to do this.
But his word was in mine heart as a burning fire shut up in my bones.
So the words of what God wanted Jeremiah to speak, it was like fire in his bones. He couldn't contain himself. He had to go and warn the people. He didn't give it. He just got smoked by somebody and imprisoned, and it started to bother him. But then his zeal rekindled a fire in him. I got to go out and I got to teach my people. I got to let my people know what's going on. I don't care about what just transpired. So he had a little mental episode. It bothered his spirit. He started to see the afflictions that was happening. But he persevered through that because he realized that spirit he had to teach. He had to let the people know. Read on.
And I was weary with forbearing, and I could not stay. For I heard the defaming of many, fear on every side. Report, say they, and we will report it. All of my familiars.
All of my familiars, those that I was around, read.
Watch for my halting.
They watch for him to stop, read.
Saying, peradventure, he will be enticed.
Something is going to entice him. He over here talking about Babylon is going to be destroyed. He talking about he talking about the Chaldeans are going to come. Something's going to entice him, and he's going to stop doing this prophesying thing he's doing. Read on.
And we shall prevail against him, and we shall take our revenge on him.
Read.
But the Lord is with me as a mighty terrible one.
And he just explained that to him in chapter 1. The Lord is going to be like a brazen wall. They ain't going to be able to do nothing against Jeremiah. So he remembered that, and that caused him to be confident and persevere through even the familiarities of those that know him and want him to fall so that they can be able to get him. He said, nah, that ain't going to happen. Read.
Therefore, my persecutors shall stumble, and they shall not prevail. They shall be greatly ashamed, for they shall not prosper. Their everlasting confusion shall never be forgotten.
Okay, so now go to Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 19 through 23.
Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 19. But I was like a lamb or an ox that is brought to the slaughter, And I knew not that they had devised devices against me, saying, let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof, and let us cut him off from the land of the living, that his name may be no more remembered.
Right. So this was the intent, that those that heard Jeremiah teaching and prophesying, they wanted him to be like a lamb that was brought to the slaughter. They wanted him to be quiet. They didn't want him to close his mouth. And also, too, they wanted to kill Jeremiah. It says, and I knew not that they had devised these devices against me. So they was plotting against Jeremiah because of his prophesying against them, saying, let us destroy, make sure, is that it? Yeah. Let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof, and let us cut him off from the land of the living, that his name may be no more in remembrance. Read.
But, O Lord of hosts, that judge righteously, that triest the reins and the heart, let me see thy vengeance on them.
Let me see God's vengeance on them. Read.
For unto thee have I revealed my cause.
Because as Jeremiah was going through these persecutions, it afflicted him, but he went to the Lord and he asked for the Lord to be his avenger. Some of us, we don't think like that. Some of us, man, we be having the smallest matters and we feel like we gotta be the one to remedy the situation. No, let God be your avenger. Put your faith in him.
The prophets move. From city streets to distant lands, the message is the same. Israel must rise. Through every quest, every journey, the truth spreads. No border can contain it. No distance can silence it. Our nation lives in every moment. In joy, we celebrate marriages. In sorrow, we honor our dead. On the Sabbath, we gather as one. Families rejoicing together, bound by the commandments of God. Yet are we tried. From the stones in Kenya to the hatred in Montana, we endure as a soldier of the Lord. And still, the mission expands. On the airwaves, on the screens, in every nation under heaven, Israel's voice is heard. We build our communities. We raise our children in royalty. We restore what was broken. We clean what was defiled. We show the world who we are. This is Israel united in Christ. Nation in motion. Nation endures.